What is up, everyone? We are going to build a very nice futuristic looking menu, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So let's talk about the setup. Very simple, a React project. The only dependency is style components, and done. Then I'm here in my app component. I've already brought in the styled, dependency. So what should we do first? Well, let's create those three bars called the hems. Type that quickly. Alright, so the container is done. So what I can do is I can come over here and use it. Menu bar. There. Alright, so now we are going to create the bar. We'll create one bar and then we will just duplicate it. So let's create that. Alright, so we've created the bar. Let's just talk about what we have. So we just give it an empty content, give it some width, a little bit of border, and then a little bit of margin, and then the transform origin. I'll explain why I've done that. And then this is just the transition to animate all the I guess attributes. So now let's come here and add it. Alright, so as you can see very easily, I've got my bars. So now what do we need? Well, now we need to handle a click. So when we click on this, we need to open the menu and close the menu. So how do we do that? Well, we do it with states. So let me quickly add those two states. Alright, so it's complaining that what the heck is useState. So well, I thought I was smart enough to import it. So we will import it. Okay, so we have done that. So why don't we go ahead and do the first deed, which is to turn this to a cross when you click on it, and then turn it back, I guess, the other way, or regular stuff. So what we need is a click handler. So I can come here on the menu bar container, and I'll say on a click. What you can do is say open menu. Well, what's open menu? Open menu is a function. And what do we do? Well, we just toggle it, the toggle, you know what I'm saying? So we can just say t equal to not. So this way you can just flip this back and forth. So that's what this does. So I mean, nothing will happen, of course, because we're not doing anything yet. So now we need to pass these values into the bar. So how do we do that? Well, we can just do it through props. So I can come here and I can say angle equals toggle, and then I can say angle equals minus toggle. I'll explain why I'm doing that. And then we need to control the opacity because we want to turn these two into a cross, but we want to hide the other one. So that's why we can just do it like this. And for this one, I'll do 1 minus opacity. Now, how do we control the opacity? Well, I want to control the opacity every time the toggle changes. And you know, what's the best candidate for that? Use effect. You got it right. So I'll come here and add this as my dependency, right? So every time toggle changes, then of course this effect will be, you know, it will run this. I'm sure you know this by now. And yeah, like so. So with all that done, what do we do? Now we start using this over here. So let's control the, I guess, transform first. So I'll come here and I'll say transform, right? And I'll say we're going to rotate this on the Z direction. So we're passing the angle. So what we can do is we can say P, which is my props, P dot angle times it by 45 degrees. And of course you got to give it that dig. So now what it will say is rotated by this angle. And what we're doing is we're just taking that value and multiplying by 45 degrees. So when I click on it, there we go. Nice and beautiful. Now as you can see, why I did that transform. So if I move this around, that moves that around. So I can say 8. I can say 10. Actually, that's a better circle. Or maybe how about 9? Oh, actually, that's not bad. So there you go. So that's what this does, the transform. This controls the position, and you can play around with this and create some pretty cool effects. So that's that. And now we need to hide this bar at the bottom. So how do we do this? Well, we can do this with the opacity. So I'll say opacity, right, is equal to same props and p dot opacity. I think that should do the trick. And there we go, it got hidden. So when I click it, I think I'm liking this. It's pretty cool. You can do this the same with CSS, but it's so faster just doing it this way. All right, enough playing with that thing. Now let's get to the meat of this tutorial. So we need to be able to show a menu that kind of comes out from here in a circular kind of fashion. All right, so how do we do this? Well, what we need to do is we need to create some stuff for it. So what we can do is come here, and I can say const, and I'll say menu button, or item actually. Menu item is equal to style.div, like so. And there you go. So that's my one menu item. And then how do we use it? Well, we're gonna come over here and we are going to use it here. So I'm done with this, and we're gonna put the menu here. So I'll say my menu item. So as you can see, I have my menu items here, and they're just in the middle doing nothing. So we need to go and now start putting some makeup on this. So the way we can do this is we can start here, and we're going to give this a position of absolute, and then what I'll give it some padding, 40 pixels, so nothing happened so far. And then let's position it close to the top. So I played around with this number and I found these were the best numbers. Yeah, so it's right there, so that's pretty cool. And now we're gonna give it some colors, and then let's give it some border radius, right? We'll just give it 100 pixel, and then for fun I'll give it only a border of bottom, and we're gonna make this 3 pixels solid, and we'll just pick this color, and let's give it some width of 220 pixel, so to make it nice and wide. All right. And then let's text align this to center. And then font size, I'll give it I don't know, 2 rems. They go nice and big font size. All right, and then what else do we need? Well, we're just gonna give it some letter spacing. I think 0.25 em should be good. What else can we do? Well, we can give it some background color. So that's my background color. Here we go. Now we can see something. So that's all done. Then what I want to do is on the span itself, I want to give it some position, not pointer, position of absolute, and then I'm gonna give it a width of 240 pixel, and I'm gonna have it left, 40 pixel, I guess, like so. So that works out very well. So I think that's good so far. Now we need to do some animation and hide this and all that kind of stuff. So the way we can do this is we're gonna come over here and start passing these values. So I'll come to the first one and I'll say Z is equal to, so I'm gonna have this rotated by 90 degrees into toggle, right? And opacity is equal to opacity, like so. So then I need to just take this and copy it over to all the other guys. All right, so the first one is not going to be rotated by anything, so it's going to be, the Z will be just 0, so I'm just going to have it 0. And then the other one, I will have this rotated by 30 degrees, then this one will be 60 degrees, like so. So everyone is rotated by 30 degrees. I found that was the best angle. So now we need to start using these here. So how do we do this? Well, we can come here and start utilizing it here. So let's do the opacity first. So I'll say opacity is equal to, just like the other one, take the props p.opacity. We're going to do it like this. So I have my opacity now, and then what we want to do is we're going to do the transform now. So we will say transform. We'll say transform is equal to, so we're going to do 200 rotation. We'll say rotate Z, right? And then what I'll do is I'll say take the props and take the Z that we passed in, minus 0 degrees. So that's one. And then the other one we need is rotate Y. So we're going to take the P, the props, and what we can do with this one is we're going to multiply this by the, we're going to check the opacity, right? So if the opacity is present, then it's 0 degrees. Otherwise, it's 90 degrees. Right, so that's how we're going to do this. All right, so when I click on this, currently nothing is happening. One thing I actually am missing is a semicolon, and I think maybe that's why this thing was messing up. So now we just need to add one line, and that will actually start, animate this in a nice, because currently, as you can see, I think it's using center as the anchor point for the rotation. So we need to shift that. So what we can do is we can say transform origin for this, and I'm going to anchor by the left side. So let's try it now. Yay. All right, so we're kind of getting the effect, but not exactly what we wanted. I want these to slide out. So for that, we can apply a, what do you call it, transition. So I'll say transition, and let's do transform. Just going to go over 1 second. Let's try this. Oh, yes. Loving it. Okay, not bad, not bad. One thing we can do is when I click back, okay, that's not bad. It's happening pretty good. So what I need to do is maybe I can add one on the opacity. Same thing, and let's see what that does. Okay, well, not much difference honestly, but let me see if I can make this a default of 0. There you go. So what that means is by default the opacity is 0, so it will actually transition that for us also, so animate it. So pretty cool, I like it. So now we need to make this a little bit nicer. Maybe you can add some background gradient or stuff. So I've already have that, I'm not going to type it. So the first thing I'll do is I'll add some box shadow, right? So let's just add that. Okay, so you can see some back shadow, and to give it a glass kind of effect, what we need to do is give it some linear gradient. You can go online and search for gradient generator, and you can actually just get your gradient from there. So that's where I got mine. I just changed the angle of this to make it look like that. So now if you allow me, isn't that pretty? I think that's pretty cool. So you can see a nice menu appearing, disappearing. Pretty nice. Now, how about we add some hover effect? So I can say hover, like so. And then I can change the color first of all. Okay, so that's not bad. And what we want to do is maybe change the background. Okay, the background is changing. So the background is pretty solid. I think I want to make it transparent. So if you add that, there you go, so it's a transparent background. All right, now on the span, I want to do something to the span. So what I can do on the spans is, I'll just say maybe left, make it 120 pixel. Okay, so this is not picking up. Why? Oh, because of this. I shouldn't be doing this. Here we go. I think that's pretty nice. And maybe we can add some text shadow. There we are. I think that's pretty amazing. So there you go. You got a very nice, cool, futuristic kind of menu that you can use in your project and impress your clients or whoever. And you can go to town with this. Actually, you can play around with these attributes. Well, that will be it for now. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and subscribe because it just encourages me to make more cool tutorials for you guys. And I can even take this further and make it more cool. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you would like, and again, please like and subscribe. And actually I see an error. Why is there an error? Because I forgot this. So yeah we solved an error too. So yeah, bye for now.